Hi kids, what's for dinner?
What is for dinner? Who knows? You wouldn't know that because you work on the seventh floor. And on the seventh floor, there is no dinner because only your Audi has dinner. That's why you don't know the answer to that question.
So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
Season 2 of Severance is starting soon. Here's what we know so far. Lumen Industries is, quote, the world's leading biotechnology company, making life better for all of humanity. They have developed a procedure where a microchip is implanted in your brain. This allows for you to effectively split into two people. Your innie works at Lumen, while your outie only knows the security guard and the elevator. Season 1 introduces us to 5 people in the microdata refinement department on the severed floor. First up is Petey. We know he used to work on the severed floor, but has reintegrated and is seeing both versions of himself. He reaches out to his coworker and friend, Mark, and gives him a map of the severed floor and an audio of the break room session before he dies from what we can only assume is reintegration sickness. At Petey's funeral, we meet his daughter June and ex-wife Nina. They clearly hate Lumen and are pissed that Petey had the procedure. Mark's neighbor, Mrs. Selvig, who is actually his boss, Harmony Cobell, removes Petey's microchip during the funeral service. At Lumen, Mark is promoted to Petey's old position and Helly R is hired. She really doesn't want to be there. In an effort to acclimate her to her new life, Milchick, the severed floor supervisor, gently guides her back to the floor whenever she leaves. She is unmoved, so much so that she tries to send secret messages to her outie. When Mark tells her that is not allowed, she threatens to cut off her fingers unless she is allowed video contact. Her outie replies by berating her, saying, I am a real person. You are not, and denies her request. Helly took that personally and attempts to end her life. After Helly recovers, she is sent to the break room and we start to see the sinister side of Lumen. Helly is later observed by Miss Casey. She is a mild-mannered woman who boosts morale and is also used by Miss Cobell to spy on the employees. When Helly leaves while under observation, it is implied that Miss Casey will be punished and not seen again. The remaining M&D crew members are Dylan and Irving. Irving is the elder of the bunch. He is a stickler to the rules, but often falls asleep. When he dozes, he dreams of black goo spilling onto his desk. This often frightens him, but he doesn't mention it to the rest of the group. Irving takes a walk one day and runs into Bert, who works in optics and design. Over time, they develop the cutest office romance that ends when Bert retires, which devastates Irving. Dylan seems to be perfectly fine working at Lumen. He boasts about the various incentives and seems disinterested in making any changes. It's not until Irving introduces him to the O&D department that he begins to see things as a little shady. He steals a card that he finds at O&D and hides it in the bathroom at the office. When Milchick can't find it, he initiates the Overtime Contingency Protocol, or OTC, and Dylan wakes up in his home. He realizes he has a son and tells the rest of the team. Cobell and Milchick then break up the M&D and O&D super friends, going so far as to tighten security. Now on the outside, Mark lives alone, but socializes with his sister Devin and her husband Rickon. Devin is expecting her first child and gives birth in a cabin specifically used for that reason. At the compound, she meets a woman who is having her third child. Devin sees her sometime later and the woman doesn't recognize Devin. She seems to be a different person mentally and has changed the baby's name from what she told Devin while she was pregnant. This grows Devin's suspicion about Lumen. Rickon is an author and leaves a copy of his book for Mark. Cobell sees it on his porch, steals it, and takes it to work. The employees find it, and it sparks curiosity within the bunch. The book, along with Milchick's shady behavior about them being friends with O&D and Dylan waking up at home, light a fire amongst the bunch. The team decides to work hard to find all the scary numbers and get a waffle party, which will allow Dylan to initiate the OTC. Audie's sad Mark goes on a few dates with his sister's doula, and we find that he had the procedure because he can't cope with his wife's death. He finds Petey's phone, and when he dials a much-used number, the doctor that implanted his microchip, and thus the only person who can deactivate it, is on the other end. Garner, who is head of security on the severed floor, discovers their secret meeting, and the doctor murders him. The board fires Cobell for not telling them about Helly's suicide attempt. But no worries. Selvig is currently employed as Devin's babysitter. While she and Mark are attending Ricken's book reading, the OTC was initiated, go Dylan, and our Annie is now on the outside. Irving realizes that the black goo he has been seeing is paint, and that his Audi is trying to bring Lumen down. He finds various paintings of a dark hallway with an illuminated elevator, articles, names, and a map, and makes a beeline to Bert's house, where he sees him with who we can only assume is his partner. Mark tells Devin everything, but not before unwittingly revealing to Harmony that the OTC has been initiated. She calls Milchick to shut it down, then heads to the Lumen Gala to stop Helen. Helena Egan had the severance procedure to prove that there is nothing to fear. Helly, however, blows up the spot and tells everyone at the gala that they are tortured and everything is all bad. After offering Dylan the world and getting refused, Milchick finally gets to him, shuts off the OTC, and thus ends our season. Oh, there are also baby goats. Can't forget the baby goats. Hope this refreshes your memory. If you have anything, add it to the comments. Thanks for watching. Peace. Oh, yeah. Casey? Yeah, that's Mark's wife, which means Gemma is alive.